Hello everyone. In the last video we have discussed the first method of finding a mean of the grouped data. Okay, that was direct method. Okay, now we are going to discuss on the assumed mean method. As the name itself says, one of the value from the table we take it as assumed mean. Okay, let us understand it by solving an example. Before that, let us see the formula. This is the formula that we use. Okay, here x bar represents mean, a represents assumed mean, which will be taken from the xi column, that means the class mark column, and sigma fi di, sigma already we know which is summation, and sigma fi means sum of frequency. So here dy represents the difference. Okay, what is that difference? Di means it is also called as deviation. To remember it in short, we can remember this as difference. Okay, difference of what? Difference of the number of the class mark and the assumed mean. Okay, this is very important. Assumed mean should be taken from the class mark column. Okay, and it can be any value from the class mark column, but we should make sure that we have to take that value from the middle of the class mark. Okay, the class mark which is in the mid of all the class marks. Okay, so let us understand that by an example. As I told, this is the example. Okay, so here what it is, find the mean of the following data. Okay, for this observations, for this table we are going to use it. Now see what exactly this is. It looks like the same table, correct? Yes. Okay, it is the same table only we are using. You use any method for the grouped frequency table or the frequency table, you get the same answer. Okay, let us start with this. The first step already we know, we have to find sum of all the frequencies. It remains the same. Second step also remains the same. You have to find xi, that is 0 plus 20 by 2 will give you 10, 20 plus 40 by 2 gives you 30, 40 plus 60 by 2 gives you 50, 60 plus 80 is 140, 140 by 2 will give you 70, 80 plus 100 is 180, 180 by 2 will give you 90. This is an xi column. Okay, here third step is important because it's an added step. We need to find the assumed mean. Means out of all these numbers, one of the number we are considering as mean. Okay, choosing a number which is in the middle of all the numbers is always better. Even you can choose 10 or even you can choose 90. That will not affect the final value, but choosing a value in between reduces our calculation. Okay, so that is our step 3. That's our step. Now let's go to step 4. Okay, step 4 is di equal to xi minus a. So what is a here? 50, correct? Xi is 10. So 10 minus 50 will give you minus 40. Then 30 minus 50 will give you minus 20. 50 minus 50 will give you 0. 70 minus 50 will give you 20. 90 minus 50 will give you 40. Okay, now one thing you keep in mind, above the assumed mean all the values are negative and below the assumed mean all the di's are positive. Okay, as we remember the formula, we need a column as sigma fi di, correct? So for that we need an fi di column. Fi di column means frequency column multiplied with the di column. So that is our step 5. Okay, now you can see 2 into 40, minus 40 will give you minus 80, 3 into minus 20 will give you minus 60, 7 into 0 will give you 0, 6 into 20 will give you 120, 6 into 40 will give you 240. Now add all the negative numbers, you get minus 140. Now add all the positive number, you get the 360. Okay, now what? Minus 140 and plus 360 means we have to add this because sigma fi di, that means sum of all the numbers. Okay, so minus 140 plus 360 will give you 220, that is sigma fi di. Now we are going to use the formula. Okay, so this is the calculation here. X bar is equals to, that means mean is equal to a plus sigma fi di by sigma fi. Okay, assumed mean we marked from the table, that is 50, and sigma fi di is 220, which is over here, and 24 is the sigma fi. Now first always make sure you divide these two and get a number, then add that with the assumed mean. Okay, that will be easy. Okay, don't go for LCM here. So divide 220 by 24, you get 9.16. Add 50 and 9.16, you get 59.16. So the same answer we got when we used a direct method formula also. Okay, so there won't be any difference in the final answer. But only thing is, this method we can use in case if you have a bigger class interval and bigger frequencies, means the number should be bigger. So it reduces the calculation a lot. If the numbers are small, you can go for direct method. Okay, let us check on the next example. See, this is an example. Here the steps are given. There are 6 total steps. Okay, you can just refer and do it, and you can pause the video here and calculate it so you can check your answer. Okay, as I told you, for our reference I am going to do it, show it again. Okay, let us write the table first. Okay, then first you are going to find sigma fi, sum of all the frequencies, then class mark. You know how to find it. 0 plus 10 by 2, 10 plus 20 by 2, 20 plus 30 by 2, 30 plus 40 by 2, you will get 35, 40 plus 50 by 2. Like that you will get all the class mark. Then you are going to choose one of the number as assumed mean. Okay, here 25. You might ask, if there are 6 class marks, so what will you do? So you will get two numbers in between, correct? Any one of that you choose. Okay, remember that any number in this column can be chosen. Okay, we can choose, but basically we go for the number which is in the middle. Then find di deviation, then sigma fi di, means you multiply frequency column and the di column, then calculate them. Thank you, hope you understood, and if you have done the calculation you get the same answer. Okay, thank you.